Welcome to hole number one of the Hot Springs tournament. Here on the Sharuba Springs course, I'm starting with an extra mile and a quasar, max top, max left. Now, you see a whole bunch of little left spin bars there. Just let me tell you, I will convert those numbers for you. We're going to play 2 bars of left spin with your quasar here. So, right down the middle is the play. There's also a way you can head to the right if that suits you best, but especially with good wind like this, we're just going to play it right down the middle. Now, you can go more aggressively here. You can certainly play a higher power ball, whatever you need to do to make yourself sleep well at night. I'm just going to take it easy here, and we're going to do it with the free-to-play balls. So, second shot then, I'm playing with the backbone, which is my traditional long iron club here in Rookie. In Pro, which you'll see me streaming on this tournament, I like to play with the Grizzlies. So, whatever you have most developed. -20, like I said, size it up, play it at club distance. For me, it's about mid here. And I'm going to give it about 2 bars of backspin just to slow it down and control that roll a little bit. And just remember, if you do have an undeveloped ball guide, that little space that I have before the pin is to take account for that. So line it up here, nice clean setup, and you're going to make sure to hit perfect, baby. It's not in the notes, but you better remember it. We'll see you over there on hole number 2. Hole number 2, and we're playing a par 3. Now, I'm setting it up here very simply with a basic ball and a Goliath. You see that I have actually recommended a navigator here because we're not really using any side spin. I'm just using about 2.2 bars of backspin, and we're lining it up just right at the hole. Imagine that, right? We got that second bounce nicely on the green for a consistent landing position. And you do have to take into account the wind that you're going to see in the tournament. This is from a tour play practice kind of hole, so we have a little bit low wind here in this example. But the route and the path that we're taking to the pin here will not change. We'll just have to alter the elevation ever so slightly. We'll do this one once again. Hole number 2, once again, and we're going to play a rough bump here. This time I've got a backbone and a katana. Maximum right spin. Don't worry how many backspin, just max right with the side spin 3 ball. And you see here, I've basically got the green ring on the right-hand side of the rough. Setting it up, of course, 20% medium distance with this light 2.6 tailwind. You definitely want to take a practice shot on this one or two to make sure that we're playing to the appropriate tournament wind elevation. And then otherwise, you just need to make sure you hit perfect because these skinny little rough bumps, if you hit great right, you're probably going to hit the fairway and bounce way behind the green into the bunker or whatever's back there. If you hit great left, you might be in the bunker, but hit perfect, and let's get it in the hole. Hole number 3, and here we go with these reasonably difficult Sharuba par 5s. I've got an extra mile and a basic ball. I'm going to say to use at least a Marlin here. If you're really feeling spicy, go ahead and bring like a Titan or something. You know, we do want to get the second shot as long as possible. However, here, max top, 1 left or so. Bouncing it over here is going to be a just fine play to get you safe over into the second fairway here, and we'll set ourselves up for a second shot. Now, you're going to see here right away with this second shot how having a higher power ball will make your life easier. However, it is still very makeable, and I want you to see how you can still get yourself an eagle if you've got lower level clubs here. So big dog level 3, max top. That's max top on any big dog. Now, I'm using maximum over power, of course, but depending where you are on that last fairway, depends how much overpower you're going to need. I barely made it, but you might only need a little smidge if you bring a Zerk or something here. So play according to your strengths and leave yourself the best possible third shot that you can. I've got about a -10% medium distance shot here. You see we're checking. I'm going to land right on the fringe, if I remember correctly here. Yep, land on the fringe. 2 bars of backspin, my traditional thorn approach, and you just have to take careful consideration of the wind that we're facing. That's why it's so important with this tournament. You have to dial in the wind, you know? But here in this condition here, -10% mid, you're going to see a nice clean adjustment with this overpowered thorn level 2. And I don't mean overpowered in power. I mean like that level 2 is insane, right? Let's go, baby. Get in the hole. A little more backspin maybe, but we'll make it work. We'll see you on number 4. Hole number 4, and we have our second par 3. I'm approaching here with a quasar ball at 25% medium distance and my backbone club. As far as spin here, I'm going to use about 1 bar of backspin and 2 bars of right spin. And you kind of use the edge of the red ring, I do here, and the bunker. It's sort of my kind of guide, if you will, my landing position guide, because there's not a lot of indicators here of where. You can also play this hole on the right-hand side. Now, look very carefully how I've turned my camera angle to look at that, like, that ball guide as it lines up at the pin. Because this is a funny hole. There's not a lot of solid flat landing positions, so it can be quite challenging. But you know what? This is definitely one that can be dropped, and I know that you can get this one too. We'll see you on hole number 5. Welcome to hole number 5. This is our second par for the tournament. This one, oh boy, this one gives me fits. Playing the conservative path on the left here, extra mile, and I've got a marlin indicated, but you can play this with whatever you want, really. You just want to give this one enough topspin to bounce it safely down the middle. Don't do what I'm doing here, letting the wind push it. Just use 3 or 4 bars of topspin, maybe like 1 bar of right spin in this kind of wind, and just put it nicely up in the middle of that second fairway. So bouncing it up. Fortunately, though, you work the wind enough, but just don't do it like that. Do it normally, okay? Like a good player that you are. So from 350 here, I'm trying to come at this one with a minimum distance sniper. 10% min, 4 back. I got a couple ticks of right spin there, but this is a challenging wind. And as you can see, once again, we are in between clubs here. So just be cautious. You know, you have the drive figured out, and you're going to have a consistent distance so that you're going to have a consistent club for your second shot. That's really what it boils down to. And I'm showing like lots of different options here for people so that everybody and their different tastes can have something to work with. I got a couple good friends such as Mr. David Harris. Not a big fan of that rough bump that I'm going to show next, and I just want to show there's more than one way to play this course. It's really the biggest thing Sharuba's got going for it. We got lots of options. We'll see you on the next one. Hole number 5 is a pretty difficult par 4. I'm going to show you the second way here, which is a quarterback and a quasar ball. And I'm not going for big distance here. As you can see, I've just given it like 1.5 bars of top spin, 2 bars of right spin, setting it up with half the red ring on the right here into the rough. And the idea is that I'm trying to set this one up so that it'll be in Goliath range. Goliath has decent top spin. It works out well for the rough bump setup here. You can also play this one even shorter. Go for like a sniper rough bump on the second shot, depending on the levels of your clubs. You know, lots of different options here on the right side. So 1-to-1 was the adjustment there. Second shot, I play this one here at 10% maximum distance. Now, I do give this one 4 bars of top spin. Is ultimately the number that we're going for. And as you can see, that sniper, if I'd been able to adjust, I definitely would have gone for sniper rough bump. So just start off with the Goliath and the sniper in your bag. Dial in the drive distance that makes you happiest. And if you're a Goliath kind of rough bumper, then do that. And if you want to go for the sniper shot, then adjust your drive accordingly. All we need to do here is make sure that we get a nice clean adjustment. And this bunker can really mess up that process. And I know if you're adjusting down into a bunker like that, we often want to push back up. And it's possible here to do that, but it can really make it challenging. So we come close here. We'll see you over on hole number 6. Hole number 6 is a par 5. I'm going to show you a different way to play this one. We got a big dog on the drive, 10% max. Now, with a 3.2 tailwind, I give this one just about 4 bars, maybe 4.2 bars of top spin. I have the top of the red ring in there, touching the top of the rough, and I adjust this shot at 10% max. You see me messing around with the app, getting things set up. Okay, let's change it to 10%. Let's change it to big dog. This is why you need to get it ready before you play the hole. So make the adjustment here, 10% max, and we're just playing it safely to that second fairway. There's a lot of different ways you can play this hole. Power hook, you can just play it like with like an APOC or an extra mile with left curl, but I really like this approach. I think it's very safe and approachable for all level of rookie players. So second shot then, and I mean, get more distance there if you can. Second shot, big dog once again. We give this one max top, max left. And you see what we're going to do here. We're going to try to get it through that rough and get it up to the final piece of fairway. So this one, I'm going to give it maximum left curl here and just a little bit of overpower. Like in this wind situation, you don't want to clip the rough, okay? But like I'm probably giving it 5 or 10%, just enough to make sure we have the push we need to get it here. And we're going to have a safe end bringer wedge play. Hole number 7, this is the last par 4. If you've got high-powered clubs, play it to the right, get it to the green. Otherwise, I'm going to show you something a little bit more calculated and delicate and repeatable for all rookie players. I go 4 back, 1.5 right here, and I've got the top of the clear ring touching the rough there or thereabouts. 20% max on this adjustment, and I'm aiming at that little bush. The whole point here is that we're not going super far, but we're setting ourselves up nicely for a sniper rough bump on the second shot. Second shot then, like I said, bring your favorite sniper, and I'm going to set this one up at 25% max distance. Depending on the wind, that elevation will change once again, but I'm going to play that second shot with about 1 bar of right spin, okay? So it's gonna depend, but that's the way I'm gonna do it. The landing position here, take careful note of the snow patch, okay? Look where my yellow ring is just touching and how that red ring is not quite touching the edge of the fairway. It's important because if you set it up differently here, you're gonna get a different bounce out of that snow. Work on that elevation, make sure we have this one situated right where we need it. Otherwise, this is a very safe path to get this one down to the green and give you a very consistent and helpful chance to get a drop for that eagle. We'll see you on hole number 8. Hole 8, par 3. I'm going to show you 2 ways because I love you. Max left, 2 back here with a Goliath and a Quasar ball. I'm setting this shot for a 15% maximum distance adjustment. Now see the blue rings? I've kind of got them touching on the left and on the right, just clipping lightly into the fairway each one. And that tip of that ball guide is difficult to work with because of the way it doesn't have any ball guides. So this is not my favorite way to play this hole, but this is definitely a way that many players are going to approach it. And I think it's very important that you can at least have a look and see, what to do here and the kind of line you're going to need to go with. Ultimately, though, the next shot I show you, the rough bump, is definitely going to be the path for me, or it should be for you if you've got a higher level Goliath. Hole 8 once again, and this time I'm going to show you that rough bump. Now, I don't have a high level Goliath. I'm only playing it with a level 5 here. So I've determined about 5.5 topspin, and with the current levels, it'll be about 1.5 to, maybe to 2 bars of side spin, depending on the amount of wind that we're going to have to play with here. But I've got that center of the yellow ring kind of between the bunker and the fairway. If you hit great right here or great left, you're going to be in trouble. Okay, I hate to break it to you. So take it easy, and you want to set this one up so that you can see it the very best. If you have like a Goliath 7, you're going to have a ball guide all the way to the pin. It's going to be very much preferable. So this is definitely the kind of hole that favors higher level equipment, but I think it's worth a go, and we can get this one too. Good luck. Welcome to the final hole of the tournament, hole number 9. Setting it up here with a Titan and a big talker. I'm the big talker. You play the big topper. Max top, I got a tiny little bit of left spin there, but we're playing this one at 10% min. 2 quick things to learn here. One is that if you pull back into big dog like that, you want to reset your spin values to max top spin. I lost a little bit of top spin here. And 2, you might have to play a little bit of under power on this drive in strong tailwind. So be careful of that. Don't be afraid to practice this shot before you get here, okay? So nonetheless, you're going to roll it down as far as you can, somewhere around 340, 350 if possible. Second shot, I'm going to play this one with a big dog. All you need to do, set it up on this second to last fairway with the yellow ring just barely touching, max top, max right. We're going to adjust this shot at 10% maximum distance. The thing that you need to use here is curl. So we just give it our nice clean 10% max adjustment. And then you're going to use this much curl in this kind of wind. You may need a little bit less if you have left or right wind. The bunker on the right-hand side up ahead is in play. Don't necessarily just slam max right curl. You'll end up in this bunker right over there. Just be careful. Get it nice and close here. We chip it in. Good luck to you in the Hot Springs tournament. Thank you for watching.